Hi everyone. So on LinkedIn, someone asked me a question because they're new in cybersecurity, and I told them what I would do is just make a quick video to answer them. So the question was, how many certs do you need? And really, what are some options if you're new to the field and you're looking into certs? And then also, how do you show employers that you have experience when all you have are those certs and you're just starting out? So I want to kind of break this down into three sections, if you will. Let's talk about certs, how many, which ones, that sort of thing. Number two, how do you show employers what you know? Okay. And then again, I have quite a bit of experience as a hiring manager, so I'll give you some inside type tips on that. And then the third thing is really how do you land that job and what are some of the things you can do to show employers what you know? And I'll give you some tips on that. So let's cover certifications right away. All right. So the first thing is, getting different certs. There's plenty of them out there. Security Plus, which I believe now is Security X. There's a CYSA, and again, there's a new version of that one. There are Google certs, there's the ISC Certified in Security, so on and so forth. Some of those are free, some of those you have to pay for. My advice is if you're new to the field, you don't need to get a whole bunch of certs. I typically recommend to people, especially those in my program, you only really need to get about 2 or 3 certs when you're starting out. And the reason I say that is if you don't have really any experience, then those certs, you don't need to get 4 or 5 certs without experience. So what you should do is really focus on getting 2 to 3 certs, learn that material really well so that you can speak to that, and of course learn how that material translates to the position of interest that you have and focus on that. The problem is also, if you go and you get, let's say, 4, 5, 6 different certs, you do a whole bunch of different courses, you spreading out your knowledge to the point where when you get to an interview, you don't have a really solid foundation in maybe some key areas that you can go back to and reference. What you end up doing is you spread everything so thin and you go through it so quickly perhaps that it's hard for you to retain everything. So then when you go into an interview, you're not really representing yourself the way that you could. The second thing that we'll talk about, how do you show employers what you know? So there are so many different ways that you can take advantage of this. So I'll just give you a few. Number one, you can post on platforms that have other professionals on it, like LinkedIn. You can join Facebook groups. One thing I definitely encourage is look on meetup.com, look for local meetup events and try to attend those, because what that does is it gets you in front of people and you can share your knowledge, what you know, show your attitude, that sort of thing. Okay. But one of the things that I highly recommend is talk about what you're learning. I see a lot of people that they just talk about, oh, I finished this, this course, or I got this certification, but they never really talk about what they gained from it and their understanding. This is a great opportunity for you to take what you're learning and then really just share what you learn with others in your words. And what that does is it helps show employers your understanding of that material. The other thing you can do is you can do write-ups, you can do videos, you could start your own YouTube channel and maybe make tutorials out of what you're learning, and that does several things. It reinforces what you're learning, it helps you help someone else, and it also shows employers the level of understanding that you have with the material. And you'd be surprised how much that can help you. And also, it's a great rehearsal so that when you do get to an interview, you're well rehearsed, you have a very solid foundation, and you have good confidence. So when you're in front of an employer, you're speaking with a lot of confidence. So we've talked about certs, we've talked about showing your knowledge. Now the last thing I'll talk about is finding that job. So today's tough, job market is very hard. I know people that have several years of experience and they are finding it challenging, let alone if you're entry level or you're new to the field. it's even harder. Well, here's some things I will share is when it comes to cybersecurity. Again, this is something that I recommend to people in my program, and I'll share it with you as well, is you really want to gain some IT experience or technical experience, whether it's in repairing, PCs, whether you're doing some sysadmin work, support, any type of initial IT experience is going to work for you, because today it is much harder to go from just zero entry level right straight into cybersecurity. Typically you need to find that company that just wants someone with no experience. Well, the problem is a lot of those postings get a lot of people on it. Perhaps you also may want to land an internship, but again, you get a lot of people that are applying for it. So what are the ways that you can sort of go ahead from all this is really look for entry level positions, but spread out through different technical areas, because I'll tell you that any experience that you bring is going to work in your favor as compared to no experience. If you're just going straight from school or straight from a certification and then applying for a job, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you. But if you can find those entry-level positions, look for the weekend work, look for the second shift, the third shift. Again, look for, support roles. And, another thing I'll also recommend is, depending on where your area is, look for some of the local companies, because a lot of times some of the local companies don't really get as many applicants as compared to the online companies. So I'll actually add in a fourth topic really quickly and give you some quick advice on when it comes to applying for jobs. So one of the things I tell people is, when you see jobs posted on, Indeed, LinkedIn, just Dice, any of these platforms where there's just thousands of applicants, that's the thing. Think about this for a minute. You're going to have that many applicants that you are going up against, especially the quick to apply, the easy to apply. I recommend really look for other opportunities than those, because those get so saturated that a lot of times it's like winning a lottery to get any kind of a callback or interview with those. So one of the things I do recommend is look up the different companies, go directly to their website and try to apply there. So now here's the thing, if you have questions, chat below in this video or this post, wherever I'm sharing this, ask me what could help you, okay? Also, if there's other topics you'd like me to talk about, let me know and I will try to cover those as well, all right? So I hope this video was helpful. Please, like and share and subscribe to the channel, or, if this is on LinkedIn or wherever you're seeing this, try to follow me, and I'm happy to help wherever I can. All right, good luck with your career hunting, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.